Hi, this is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Saturday. This is Devils After Dark. I'm your host, Sam Wu, here with Scotty of SiriusXM Liquid Metal. Devils lose to the Bruins 5-2. Is it 5-2?
5-2. 5-2.
5-2.
I think you forgot to put
the
You forgot to put the little score thing up there. Oh boy. You know it's never good when Sam Wu comes in with his news reporter voice. Happy Devils Saturday, everybody. This is Sam Wu reporting to you from Taj Lounge 973. You turn into Tom Brokaw whenever the Devils lose, unfortunately.
I'm not like,
hey, Sam Wu.
Hey, well, I'm at Taj Lounge 973 right now. There's a private party about to happen. So,
yeah, so unfortunately, we ran into some scheduling conflicts. We were supposed to have a nice Devils After Dark from Taj Lounge 973. We will have one in the future post-game real soon. But I want to thank everybody who came out to Game Day Live before the game, hung out with Sam Wu and Short Sky, and just had a great time beforehand. Lots of people around. We always love to see that. We know the weekend game here against the Bruins in Newark. Happy to get everyone there. And in the future, I do see we have like one or two fans that have somehow snuck through the barriers at Taj Lounge 973. We will have a Devils After Dark coming to you live from Taj Lounge 973 real soon. So let's get into the unfortunate, the unhappy Devils recap, the what are the refs thinking Devils recap against the Boston Bruins today. And we knew this was going to be a tough test for our team. The Bruins are one of those teams that can give us a lot of trouble as those veterans. We've seen it. We saw it with the Capitals, and we talked about it as well. Those smart, savvy teams that know how to take advantage of opportunities. And, well, that top line, that perfection line, 6 points from them today. They took advantage of their opportunities. But in the first period, I thought both teams came out really strong and played well, very fast-paced, end-to-end, good chances all around. Jonathan Bernier was in net. Sharon Govich was back in the lineup. Tice Thompson was a healthy scratch, but some good. I think the highlights of the first period were really some big glove saves. Some big glove saves from Jonathan Bernier. Hula, is that how you say his name? Hula. I can't remember. I don't even remember actually. Scored for Boston to put them on the board late in the first period. That's 17:37 of the first. Wrist shot there, and the Bruins were on the board. And then in the second period, Marchand scored his first of his second on the day. Bergeron with the assist there. Power play goal for the Bruins. But then, and that was, I believe that was on the Dawson Mercer penalty. It was on the Dawson Mercer penalty. He took a trip trying to forecheck, and then the Bruins score. However, Dawson Mercer comes out of the box, and wouldn't you know it, Jesper Bratt, Andreas, don't call me Andre Johnson, Janssen, and Dawson Mercer for the tic-tac-toe, pretty give and go between three players, and Dawson Mercer puts it home for his 5th of the year already. There it is.
Andre Johnson on the play.
It's another flea flicker. A flea flicker over to Mercer for the score. He's in for the touchdown. And it was looking good. We saw the Devils strike back, which was nice to see. Hey, are they going to take this like the Capitals game, or the Capitals kind of roll this over, or are they going to strike back? And you know what? The Devils struck back. Marchand then came back a little bit later for his second of the game. That's his 8th from Pasternak and McAvoy. And then Jesper Bratt right there at the end of the second period, another Beautiful play by Dawson Mercer, who was all over the ice today. A spinorama pass to Brad. I don't know how he spotted him out of the corner of his eye, but a perfect spinorama pass to Brad, who slams it home for his third, past Swayman, who had a hell of a game, I got to say, in net for the Bruins. And then in the third period, we got to start talking about some of these penalties that were called and everything like that. But in the third period, 2 goals for the Bruins. Bergeron gets his 6th, and then DeBrusk right there at the end with the empty netter to seal the deal, 5-2. So I thought the boys played very well. Even though it was a losing effort today, I thought they played very well. We got to talk about some of these penalties, but 3 stars of the game. Marchand and Pasternak at your first and second. Dawson Mercer takes the third. Shots on goals for the Bruins, 14, 12, 10 for a total of 36. Bernier was strong. For the Devils, 9, 9, 11 for a total of 29. Bruins, a slight edge in the faceoff, 53% to 46. Power plays, it was a power outage for the Devils today, 0 for 3. Boston was 1 for 2. Hits, 16 to 11. So Boston with the slight edge there. Blocks, wow. 25 blocked shots for the Bruins, only 8 for the Devils. 8 giveaways, 22 takeaways for the boys, which was really nice to see. A lot of pucks getting picked, which was great, but Ryan Graves getting hurt at the end of the game as well. Not really sure how that wasn't a cross check, but Nico Heischer's embellishment call, dude is getting slaughtered in front of the goal all game, and he gets nailed in the back, and somehow he gets an embellishment call as well. I don't know. I usually try not to focus in on the officiating, but those were 2 pretty big calls that just seemed a little odd to me. But I want to shout out also Kevin Weeks. I was watching the old the NHL Network broadcast was out for me here in LA, but pointing out great move by Lindy Ruff. We always talk about Lindy really, having his, the pulse of the team. He knows what's going on there. And Mercer takes that penalty. Boston scores. And then he's got enough confidence in a 20-year-old rookie, just playing his first games in the NHL, and the smarts not to say, hey, let me give him a break. That was let me give him a little time, maybe just recoup it. He throws him right back out there. And when you know it, Dawson Mercer goes down there and rewards him for that. So great coaching by Lindy Ruff as well. Just, having his finger on the pulse of the team. Nico, I think, had a pretty good game. Igor Sharangovich was in, like we said. Thompson was out. Didn't really see too much from Igor and the who was it? Kwokanen line there down in the fourth line with Jesper Boquist. Didn't really see too much from them. Siegenthaler and PK, I thought, had very strong games as a third pairing on the defense. Something we had talked about before the season started. We know PK struggled there mightily in those first 10 games, but it seems like he's kind of found his groove. He's been throwing his body around, laying some people out, and he's been playing together all around, and so is Siegenthaler, and this is what we thought. Less minutes, not against the other team's top lines. In that third pairing, he should shine, and he's starting to really, excel down there, so I think that was great. Mercer was just all over. The Devils countering, by the way. They were down 2-0. They score back. They were down 3-1. They score back. I know, obviously, they lost in the end, but still, it was nice to see them, strike back like that. Great showcase for the team, by the way. There's a lot of hype going on about them. I know out here, I don't get MSG Plus in Los Angeles. I get the NHL Network for my hockey coverage. I got to go the old ESPN Plus app and stuff like that for the game. So I see the MSG Plus that way, but I don't get a lot of Devils coverage. And I got to say, this past week, there's been a lot on the hype train on the old NHL Network talking about the Devils and everything. So I thought this was a great showcase for the band. And kudos for the Youth Gone Wild Skid Row jersey metal reference. Whoever did that during the game, I got to give him props for that. Anything metal and having a jersey reference. We are the Youth Gone Wild. I think that's actually perfect for our team, being we are the second youngest team in the league. Sam Wu, What say you about what happened today? Am I way off about these penalties, the embellishment, the cross-check on Ryan Graves? If anyone has an update, by the way, because I haven't seen anything come out. I don't think there was anything as the game ended. But, Taylor Hall, our old BFF, I know Graves was skating backwards, but kind of looked like Taylor Hall drove him down into the ice there a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a fan here. I don't know. Maybe I'm being fan-sided. Huh? See what I did there, Sam Wu? See what I did there? See what I did? Huh?
Plug.
Huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
I just feel like I was pitchforked by the refs.
You were pitchfork. Yeah, we were pitchforked back out of there, as Doc would say.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just, like I said, maybe I'm just looking at it through fans' eyes. But that Graves, I don't know. Just seemed like there should have been some sort of penalty on there. And the Nico embellishment is just like, what? Are you kidding me? So, I don't know. What do you guys think? YouTube Live, Twitter Live, Facebook Live, and Sam Wu Live from Taj Lounge 973. And our two fans behind there who snuck in. Who are our two fans, by the way? Who are they? Do we have names?
They're Rick and Julie. They're Rick and
Julie. Woo!
Yes.
Oh, I remember Rick.
Yeah.
I remember Rick. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Very cool.
All right.
That was the last time I was out there, like 2 years ago, I feel like.
Yeah. So this is what I think. You're not far off. I just think, for whatever reason in the NHL, that veteran teams get away with more than teams with youth. It's kind of funny. You see this happen all the time. It's not just to the Devils, where if you've got a young team, it seems like it's almost like the good old boys club. It's like, okay, these guys have been around. They can get away with more. But if you sneeze if Dawson Mercer sneezed on a player, he gets a penalty. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I didn't think Nico embellished anything. Nico is Nico. Nico's not that type of player anyway. I mean, heck, he got hit in the with the puck by PK Subban. Was he embellishing how painful it was? No, that's not Nico's game. So I thought the refs were a little harsh there at the end, but at the same time, I think the Devils put up a pretty good showing for the most part. But this is what happens when you go against teams like the Boston Bruins. Now, Dawson Mercer, the gift that keeps on giving, the Adam Larson trade for Taylor Hall, and the Taylor Halls flip him to Arizona, get the 18th overall pick, and
we get
suddenly.
I want to take a trip to Dawson's Creek.
Mercer. Yes, where's that, by the way? Is that North Carolina?
I have no idea. It's right there. It's you know where it is? It's in Newark, New Jersey. That's where it is. It's one of those puddles outside the rock right now. That's what it is. Yeah. Because he's on
and the
fire.
Creek
He's all over the place.
To Mercer County.
Yes. Oh. Dawson's Creek in Mercer County. Yes.
We will have to find that. We'll have to find that. We'll have to do a podcast from Dawson's Creek in Mercer County.
Yes.
Somewhere.
Yes. We should do a big. That could be. Yes. Maybe we can get Dawson to come down.
Yeah.
He'll probably be like, you guys are crazy. No. But anyway, he was on fire all over the place. And I know Kevin Weeks, like I said, watching the NHL Network Showcase over here in Los Angeles for me, Kevin Weeks was just talking about it continuously about Dawson Mercer. This is his rookie campaign here, 20 years old, and him being a plus player, being responsible defensively, not being a big hole out there, and putting up points consistently already. He's got, what is it, 10 now? 10 in, 12 games?
Like...
Third overall, behind the two monsters on Detroit, his Alexander Holtz's buddy, Lucas Raymond. Dawson Mercer is third place all by his own, and you're going to hear a lot of Calder Trophy talk about him.
He's the best player in the 2020 draft. I'm telling you right now, there's something about this kid that Lafreniere doesn't have. There are other great players like Holtzy, maybe McMadolan, but there's something about Dawson Mercer that has that Connor McDavid touch and magic about him when he's on the ice. He does all the little things. He's a lot like Jack Hughes. Remember before Jack Hughes got taken away from us in 4 periods of the season, Jack Hughes was leading the NHL in takeaways. Dawson Mercer has that ability at such a young age. He has the maturity of a young leader right now. Even Dougie Hamilton said early on that he gravitates towards Dawson Mercer. Why? Because he's got a winning mindset and a winning attitude, and he came to play when he first came to the Devils. The rookie camp, the prospect challenge, training camp, making the roster. He didn't want to go to the AHL. He willed himself onto the roster. He gave the Devils no choice but to put him on the team. And then where do you go from there? He's been nothing but a stud. Jack Hughes goes out. Jonathan Bernier goes out. Dougie Hamilton goes out. Miles Wood has been out. And there's there's a young kid, Dawson Mercer, who is just he hasn't stopped. He hasn't stopped. He's leading the team right now. He's one of the leaders. And don't forget, he has resurrected Andre Johnson's career from the Houston Texans to the New Jersey
Former
Devils.
wide receiver. Yes.
Yeah. We're scoring touchdowns now.
We are scoring touchdowns, and it's a good point too, because as you were just rolling down that list of injuries, this team has all of the quote unquote excuses, but they didn't take them.
Yeah,
and they didn't need them.
Nope.
They went out there, and you're right. I feel like Dawson Mercer has obviously been a revelation. Remember a couple weeks ago or a month or so ago, we were like, oh, we think Dawson Mercer might make the team. Like we weren't even sure yet if he was actually going to be, and he came in with a ball of fire and has not stopped. But they've had all of the excuses right there for him, but they didn't take them. They found this new leadership with Dawson Mercer. Nico Hischier has really come back and stepped up his game, and you see a little bit more edge with him too. I love it. I love seeing that. I love seeing Dougie Hamilton. Dougie Hamilton protected Dawson Mercer early in the game. The Bruins took a run at him, and Dougie went right in the corner and protected him. Like, you're not going to hurt our boy.
And I would expect that from the Bruins. The Bruins are that type of team. Yeah. Brad Marchand, the face licker. They've got they've got an edge to their game, and I do respect that. And those are
we
the
knew
type
that
of
was going to happen.
Have to be.
Yeah.
And you know what? I thought the Devils again. And again, this is not moral victory here, but it's a part of the process. They elevated their game against a very brutal team. I like to call them brutal because they do what it takes to win, such as the Washington Capitals. And then we're going to see how the Devils are tested tomorrow at Madison Square Garden, where I would assume Mac Black will be in net. Second half to the back-to-back this weekend. So far, look, the Devils' winning streak is now coming to end. But before, when Chico Resch was here on Tuesday at Taj Lounge, he asked the crowd, what would you like the Devils' record to be in the next 4 games, knowing that they're going to be tough? Naturally, everyone would say 4-0. But realistically, I thought if the Devils can go 3-1 in this 4-game set, I think that I would consider that a success. They're growing as a team. Today was just one of those losses. Again, you didn't get help from the refs either, but they'll learn from it, move on, and let's see what Ryan Reeves does to PK Subban tomorrow. Lafreniere versus Mercer and Holtz. That 2020 battle. Capo Caco, is he actually going to get a point or not? I don't know. And
who cares? Who cares about the Rangers?
I know.
Let the Rangers go Ranger. Let's focus on what
I'm trying to hype it up
Scotty.
We don't need
Trying to
we
hype
don't
him up
need
for
hype.
the series.
We don't need hype anymore.
I
We
know.
don't need it. Our team is enough hype on our own. I just want to see what Dawson. I don't really give a crap what Lafreniere is going to do. I don't care about Kakko.
I'll tell
and
you
his
what.
no
I'll
points.
tell you what.
I could care. I could care less about the Rangers. They can go Ranger. I care about our Devils, and I care about us getting better. And I care about what you said because I was thinking the exact same thing. I would even take a 2-1-1, but you said it. 3-1 is what we want. You know why? Because no losing streaks. All right. They're not going to win every game. The Bruins are a tough team, and we knew that coming in. These are the type of teams the Devils are going to struggle with. The big bad Bruins, the big bad Caps, those older teams, those playoff tested teams who could really grind you out. It's always a hard thing for young teams to beat these savvy, cagey vets who take advantage of the mistakes. Okay, so we knew that they were going to have a tough time with some of these teams. If they come out of this stretch 3-1, that would be absolutely fantastic. You know why? Because no losing streaks. That's the streaks that they need to stop. When they get a loss, stop it. You know, the next night or the next game, try to bounce. Even if you get that OT loss, you still get that point on the board or something like that. But coming back and you know what? It is a natural rivalry. You know, like the Rangers and Devils, they should have no problem getting up for this game, and they're going to have plenty of rest because it's a 7 o'clock start after this 1 o'clock early game. You know, so they should be ready to rock and roll, and it's only across the bridge. So we're going to see.
Yep.
We're going to see, Sam Wu.
I like to add to that, if the Devils are in the locker room watching this podcast, but Devils fans know, you win tomorrow, everyone has forgotten about today. You win tomorrow, it changes the whole storyline. It changes the entire dynamics. Tomorrow's a big game, a very big game. You got to forget about this game. You got to go into Madison Square Garden, and you got to be prepared and bring a lot of energy.
They didn't even play bad. I don't think they need to forget about this game. I think they need to learn from it and see what they did and where they could get a little bit better and where they can maybe clean up. They didn't take too many penalties, you know, but I really don't feel like this was a throwaway game. I thought they did a lot of good stuff. Let's not forget. I mean, Swayman had he was standing on his head. There were some really good quality shots that the Devils got there. I don't know. That one I'm going to disagree with you on, Sam Wu. I don't think this one's a throwaway game. I think the boys did some. I think
Scotty,
the boys did some good things here. And if this was like a 5-0, I mean, the empty net goal at the end and in the fourth, I mean, in the fourth goal in the third, those penalties, I don't know. So I don't know.
Scotty,
I think the boys played well.
Scotty, I agree with you. I'm actually more talking about the more pessimistic Devils fans because I read comments all the time. You know, after one loss, it's like,
the team is horrible. They're terrible.
Well, I got here. Let me read some comments. Okay, I got Tony P. Sell the team, Mickey Mouse franchise, whatever. Stephen Murdoch, embellishment was BS. I never got a look at the hit on Graves. Missed a replay if there was one. John Janssen brought and Mercer lightened it up.
Johnsonville brought force.
Donnell Weaver says the refs totally kiss Boston's butt all day long. Graves get hit behind, no call at all.
Yeah.
The Bruins scored on the other end, and it was a scramble, and the refs should have blown the whistle. Yep.
That's right, Marchand.
You're
that's where
absolutely
he
correct.
scored. It was because they had the odd man then because Graves was still down. And I understand that he was skating back and he collided with Taylor Hall, but like, then you should go. Like Taylor Hall literally like drove him into the ice like with his stick. I don't know. Like I said, maybe I'm looking at it from a fan's point of view, but that looked like a penalty. And Graves tried to get to the bench, and just as he got there, and you saw Siegenthaler like hop over the boards. I mean, you just saw him like blur, like his Marchand just scored. It was, I mean, he tried, he did everything he could, but
and Joey,
don't be pessimistic out there, Devils fans, though. Like, there's no need to be. They played hard today. They got beat by a better team right now, but we're gonna get there. These teams like the Caps and the Bruins, this is the end goal because these are the teams you're gonna face in the playoffs. that you're going to have to get through if you want to make a deep run. You're going to have to get through the Islanders. You're going to have to get through the Bruins. You're going to have to get through the Caps,
And you got to get through the refs. Seriously, you got to get through the refs. You can't control that, Unfortunately, that's part of the game.
No, that's true.
And
that is true, Sam Wu.
True. If you remember the Devils Cup teams, they got through the refs. They got through the refs. That's why they played the game virtually perfectly on most nights. Reason why? Because just an added cushion and insurance in case the refs screw it up. That's why I used to say. And you can't use the refs as an excuse all the time, but it was bad. But I'm the Devils responded back, and I'm happy the Devils played them tough. But tomorrow, there's a big game. You got to move on.
It's a big game. It's a big game.
Move forward to the New York Rangers. And
we start all these new generation of rival. A new generation of rival.
And the Metropolitan Division games are the most important. They are the most important. Beating the Islanders 4-0, 4-0, where they got no points out of the deal was huge. Losing to the Bruins, okay, not so bad. But against the Rangers, you have to beat the Rangers. They're in your division. You're vying for position. And if you can take 2 solid points where the Rangers get nothing, you're +2. And again, 3-point games can be a killer, both early in the season and then towards the end of the season. So I hope, I'm assuming Mac Black will be in net, well rested against the Rangers at Madison Square Garden. You're going to have youth against youth. You're going to have some drama as well because the Rangers like to create some drama. Our slew footer will be out there, PK Subban.
Yes.
And,
and Reeves, yes.
Yeah. And
so we'll see if Mason Gearston is back in the lineup tomorrow. We'll see if that happens.
And I would expect some beef.
If Tyce Thompson gets put back in, we'll see if anything like that happens. I'm sure they will, but I do. I mean, I think this is going to be a new generation of rivals. I don't really follow. I'm not one of those that follows the Rangers so close. So I do know that Adam Fox is a hell of a defenseman. So it'll be nice to see now that we have someone that can counter that in Dougie Hamilton. That's what I'm thinking about right there.
I think these two teams match up extremely well, pound for pound.
Oh yeah,
I think. And I think, but truth be told, a little preview for tomorrow. Shesterkin has kept the Rangers, high in the standings. The guy's been playing out of his mind, and the Devils are going to have to figure a way to solve him, and try to, get the puck past him. And obviously, it's going to be a ruckus crowd as usual at Madison Square Garden, and even at the Prudential Center for these type of games. And there's going to be a little bit of edge to it. Why? Because we actually have fans in the stands right now, and it's going to get loud, and it's going to have a playoff atmosphere. And I mean, opening night was awesome here. Think of opening night at Madison Square Garden and with Mac Black in net, and hopefully Ryan Graves is okay. Stay here to Let's Go Devils podcast. As if anything breaks, we will let you know on our social media pages at Let's Go Devils podcast on Facebook and Twitch, at Let's Go Devils pod on Twitter, and YouTube channel, Let's Go Devils. Scotty, final thoughts as wrapping up for tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow, Devils After Dark.
I'm excited for igniting the new, like I said, this new generation of rivalry. A lot of these guys have not played against each other. Maybe they don't know exactly what they're in for. Just naturally, when the Devils and Rangers collide, it's going to be juicy, and I can't wait for it. And I know both sides are going to come out swinging. They're going to come out swinging. So I think it's going to be a really fun game, but I think our boys can handle this, and I think they're going to fight through, and I think they're going to come out with a solid victory. Mac Black in net. I'm going to say, give me 2 points for the captain tomorrow, Nico. Goal and assist.
I think Dawson Mercer is going to go into Madison Square Garden and light it up. I think he's going to be so amped up for this game that Janssen and Brat, sorry, I keep on forgetting now, that, yeah, just like Johnson, right?
Yeah.
I think Johnson and
Johnsonville,
Brat,
right?
Johnsonville Brat is going to be, that trio is going to have magic at Madison Square Garden. I also think that Mac Black is going to play out of his mind. He looked great last Thursday, and I thought he looked pretty decent, against the Kings out west. I expect it to be a tight, but I think we're going to see some magic out of those three, and maybe Dougie Hamilton will show some of his magic as well. Those are my predictions for tomorrow. But keep it here, 3 p.m. Eastern. The Let's Go Devils podcast edition, Sunday edition, is moving. It's 9 p.m. time to 3 p.m. Eastern because we have the game tomorrow night against the Rangers. Game day live, 6 p.m. Eastern. Vinny Parisi and I. And afterwards, Scotty and I will recap the game that was. And after that, I'm off to Florida. Scotty, after the podcast. And I'll be down in Florida doing podcasts, and we'll still do the game day live for playoffs. Well, you got to have a playoff mentality if right now you want to think about. I saw it.
Someone did the old Mora on there. Playoffs? You talking about playoffs? I said the Bruins and the Capitals will be in the playoffs, and those are two playoff teams that we need to learn how to beat if we want to get to the playoffs. That's what I said. Playoffs? Talking about playoffs?
Well, Scotty, want to thank everybody that came out to Taj Lounge 973 today.
Yeah.
Game day live, and the few that snuck in at Taj Lounge 973. Yeah, afterwards.
And we apologize about that. We're going to get our schedules straight so we can have a proper Devils After Dark from Taj Lounge 973, where we can all feast in Victory Catfish.
Absolutely. Thanks, everybody. Dropping the podcast probably a couple hours later. Till next time, Rangers suck. Let's go Devils.